Welcome to the channel. Here we explore the most fascinating, strange, and well-documented facts of history that often remain in the shadows. Today, we'll explore cases that seem fictitious but actually happened. Let's dive into history. Clement Vallandigham, the lawyer who proved too much. 1871. Clement Vallandigham was a famous American lawyer. In 1871, he was defending a man accused of murder in a bar fight. Clement argued that the victim had accidentally shot himself while pulling a pistol from his pocket. To prove this to the jury, he decided to demonstrate it on himself. Thinking the gun was unloaded, he put it in his pocket and quickly pulled it out. The gun fired, and the lawyer fatally shot himself in the stomach. His client was immediately acquitted because Clement had proven his innocence at the cost of his own life. Bobby Leach, the barrel survivor. 1926. Bobby Leach was a true daredevil. In 1911, he became the second person in the world to conquer Niagara Falls by going over it in a steel barrel. He survived the massive fall with only a few broken bones. However, 15 years later, while walking down a street in New Zealand, he slipped on an orange peel and broke his leg. The break led to gangrene, and the leg had to be amputated. Shortly after, Bobby died from complications. The man who survived one of the most dangerous waterfalls on Earth was killed by a piece of fruit. Garry Hoy, the unbreakable window. 1993. Garry Hoy was a respected lawyer in Toronto. He loved to demonstrate the strength of the windows in the skyscraper where his office was located to students and guests. He claimed the glass was unbreakable. During a demonstration on the 24th floor, Garry ran and threw his shoulder against the glass. The glass did not break, but it popped out of the frame entirely. Garry fell 24 stories to his death. He proved the glass was strong, but he forgot about the window frame. Hans Steininger, the fatal beard. 1567. Hans Steininger was the mayor of a town in Austria and possessed the longest beard in the world at the time, about 4.5 feet or 1.5 meters. He usually kept it rolled up and tucked into his pocket. In 1567, a fire broke out in the town. In his panic to escape, Hans forgot to roll up his beard. While running down some stairs, he stepped on his own beard, lost his balance, and broke his neck. His legendary pride became the cause of his death. Sigurd the Mighty, the Severed Heads Revenge. 890–80. Sigurd the Mighty, a Viking Jarl of Orkney, defeated his enemy Maelbrit in a fair fight. As a sign of victory, Sigurd cut off his enemy's head and tied it to his saddle. As he rode home, Maelbrit's famous buck teeth scratched against Sigurd's leg due to the bumpy ride. The scratch caused a severe infection, which killed the great Viking a few days later. Technically, the dead enemy managed to kill his conqueror. William Bullock, the printing press victim. 1867. William Bullock invented the rotary printing press, which revolutionized the publishing industry. In 1867, he was helping to install one of his new machines for a newspaper in Philadelphia. He tried to kick a driving belt back onto a pulley, but his leg got caught in the moving machine. The press crushed his limb. William developed gangrene and died during the operation to amputate his leg. His own great invention killed him. Basil Brown, the carrot juice overdose. 1974. Basil Brown was a health food enthusiast from England. He was convinced that carrot juice was the elixir of life. Over a period of 10 days, he drank about 10 gallons, 38 liters, of carrot juice. His skin turned bright orange, and he died of severe liver damage caused by a massive overdose of vitamin A. Basil literally poisoned himself with health. Jack Daniel, the dangerous safe. 1911. The founder of the famous whiskey brand, Jack Daniel, arrived at work early one morning and couldn't remember the combination to his office safe. In a fit of rage, he kicked the heavy steel safe as hard as he could. He severely injured his big toe, which soon became infected. The infection turned into blood poisoning sepsis, and Jack Daniel died. If he had simply cleaned the toe with alcohol, perhaps his own whiskey, he might have lived. Marcus Garvey. The premature obituary 1940. Marcus Garvey, a famous political activist, suffered a stroke but survived. Shortly after, he read his own obituary in a newspaper that had mistakenly printed it too early. The obituary stated that he had died broke, alone, and unpopular. Garvey was so shocked and upset by these words that he suffered a second fatal stroke right while reading the article. He truly died after reading about his own death. Jim Fixx. The irony of jogging. 1984. Jim Fixx was the man who essentially popularized jogging in the USA in the 1970s. He wrote the bestseller, The Complete Book of Running, and convinced millions that running would save them from heart disease. At the age of 52, Jim Fixx died of a sudden massive heart attack during his daily run. This ironic death sparked huge debates at the time about the benefits and risks of excessive exercise. Harry Houdini. The punch in the stomach. 1926. The great escape artist Harry Houdini prided himself on his physical strength and claimed he could withstand any punch to the stomach. He had time to tense his muscles. In Montreal, a student asked him if this was true and, without waiting for Houdini to prepare, delivered several hard blows. Houdini wasn't ready. The punches ruptured his appendix. Despite severe pain, Houdini continued to perform for several days until he died of peritonitis on Halloween. Kurt Dell. The fear of poison. 1978. Kurt Dell was one of the greatest mathematicians and logicians in history and a close friend of Albert Einstein. Late in life, he developed severe paranoia. He believed people were trying to poison him. He agreed to eat only food prepared and tasted by his wife, Adele, when Adele was hospitalized for 6 months and couldn't cook. Dell simply refused to eat anything at all. The world's greatest logician starved to death because his fear of dying was stronger than his instinct to survive. If you enjoy this kind of research and value verified information, please like this video. It's the best way to support our content. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next 12 stories that will change your understanding of the past.